Welcome back, guys, to another episode, Hoops and Football. Shannon here, as always. So I thought, we now know the draft order for this year's draft. We now know it's pretty much the top 10 is pretty much predominantly owned by about 4 clubs, and that's how it's going to be. We have a good idea that the top 5 will have 3 academy players, 2 from the Suns, 1 from Brisbane. And now we've also heard a bit of the rumours about Robey could be going to West Coast. They are kind of got their eye on him. And look, that could just be them giving out sort of feelers for other clubs to maybe want to bid up a bit higher and get Robey. But I thought the Melbourne Football Club just got picks 7 and 8 for Petrarca. Now, they got 2 good players last year from last year's Super Draft in Langford and Xavier. My question would be, do Melbourne need 7 and 8 again this year? And could they then trade up to Richmond's pick 3 for a Cooper Duff Tytler or a Sullivan Robey? Now the question becomes is, if you're Richmond, do you want to let a player like Sullivan Robey go? Or a Cooper Duff Tytler? Like both of those players could be anything. We don't know. As we all know, the draft is sort of just a kind of an educated guess with what these players can turn out to be. But I thought, would Richmond give up pick, say, and then this is the only way I think you could probably swing it past the Dees. It depends on how desperate they were. You could do it on draft night. Dees give up pick 7 and 8. We give them pick 3 and pick 38. So they would have pick 3, and then they wouldn't have another pick for a while, but it'd be pick 37 and 38, so they would give themselves back-to-back picks later in the draft. They could trade away. They could use for points for their father and son. I think it's the last name's White, but that gives them a chance to go for a Cooper Duff Tytler, who could be the next Max Gawn or Max Gawn's replacement. While Gawn is there for a couple of years, he can teach Cooper how to play, how to get on the ground, because they're very similar players. In my opinion, maybe the ruck tap skills of Maxi is probably the best there ever is. But that is a good program for Cooper to go to. Sullivan Robey could be a good duo with Langford. They both are very good midfield players, but they both can go forward and kick goals. So that would then open up Richmond to have pick 4, 7, and 8. You could then decide to take players in the draft at those picks, or maybe trade one away for a future draft. But if Richmond had pick 4, 7, and 8, it's where you could turn around. You probably could build for the rest of it. Be done. No more drafting. Really, you could stick away from it, because you could get yourself your Sam Cumming and your Sam Grill. So you could have your midfielder who can go forward, kick goals, but then you also get that halfback / midfielder who has that speed, the pace, and the willing to take on the game. Both will all have their negatives when they need to be worked on, but that's every prospect. Then you still have pick 8, where you could go after Xavier Taylor, get another key defender in at 191 centimetres, very well intercepted player, very good IIQ, won the under-18s Coates League's grand final best player. Or if he doesn't get some of those players don't get past the Bombers, then you could go a Lockie Doverston. So some people are saying, do we need more small forwards? There's a player you could bring in as a small forward. That allows Seth Campbell to come up the ground more. A lot of people in the club or inside and the fans believe that Seth probably needs to start going up the ground. Maybe not 100% of the time, but you need to start seeing him get more maybe wing time, midfield time, because when he does go into the middle, the ball doesn't get out as easy because he has that speed. With Lockie Doverston, he's probably that Nick Watson that Richmond could really use, especially in a couple of years when we're pushing towards finals. Just that player that can sneakily get around really easily. You could bid on Harry Dean. Richmond could then start making other clubs pay for their academy players as well. It's all through the roof of really what you could kind of go after. Dyson Sharp would still be a possibility as well if he doesn't get past Essendon or any other club. It just really vary on it. But I thought it's a good idea to at least bring up the suggestion. Would the Melbourne Football Club and the Richmond Football Club come together, make a deal, trade pick 3 for 7 and 8? Yes. Now, that's the only thing I will say is you're going to hate it because you probably don't get Sullivan Robey. That's probably where you lose him if he doesn't go to West Coast or Cooper Duff Tyler. But allows you to bring in 3 top 10 prospects in again, and that would be within the span of 2 years, 5 top 10 prospects have come into our club. Opens up a big avenue. So, can you guys leave a comment below what you think we should do? Melbourne or Richmond, would you guys do that deal? Would you give up pick 338 for 7 and 8 in this year's draft? Let me know what you think. If you could, guys, hit that like and subscribe. I am pushing close to 500 subscribers. I really would like to hit that by the end of the year. Thank you all for watching. As I always end my videos, stay safe and go Tigers.